Welcome to Hitting the Greens from the Golf Club of Coldwater. Our PGA professional today is Brian Earls, also with the Foundation Golf Center. Our guest today, and in honor of our guest, I am all decked out for him, is the principal of Quincy High School, Mr. David Spalding. David, welcome to the show.
Just beautiful clothing.
Thank you very much. The only thing could be better is if I had maybe black pants. It'd be all black and orange type of thing. So, well, Brian, we are going to work on a little pitch and run here, and we're going to have you give us the tips and techniques right now.
Absolutely. You know, you're going into this shot looking towards the pin. You've got the whole green to work with. This is a very basic shot in golf where you should get it up and down more than half the time. Unfortunately, most of us, probably the average for most 20 handicappers is probably about 10% of actually getting this putt or this chip up and down. So, you know, we're trying to hit this shot easy and make it easy and try to simplify the motion so nothing's too complex here when we're doing this stuff. And the reason why most of us struggle with it is because we get too much body motion and too much of a big swing going in, all right? For this type of shot here where I'm trying to roll it up to the hole and I've got about 50 feet of green to work with, I'm gonna use my 8-iron. A lot of you will use 7 at home or you can use your 9-iron. Your pitching wedge would work too, but the reason I use 8 irons is because it's kind of middle of the road and I'll be able to make a very short and small stroke and still make the ball go all the way to the hole. The shorter stroke you can make, the better your chances and odds are of hitting the ball solid, therefore hitting a better shot, okay? If I make a bigger stroke, it's gonna be harder to hit the ball solid and I could hit it over the green or short or do something crazy like top it or something like that. So the fundamentals of this stroke, use your same grip that you've used for all your other shots on the golf course, all right? We're gonna get up there, make the same grip. What I do with this shot though is I do play it back in my stance, meaning I play it either, if you consider this the middle of this stance, I'll have it off of my right foot for a right-hander. Obviously left-handers be off their left foot. But the reason we put it back in the stance is because it increases our chances of hitting the ball first. If it was forward in my stance, I might hit behind it and therefore I would hit the grass first and it'd be very hard to get the ball all the way to the hole. So we play it back in our stance. The other thing we tend to do is set our hands forward so that it's even, the grip and the handles even with our left thigh. When we do that, we're getting ourselves into a position where we're definitely now going to hit the ball first, because if I keep my hands in front, it's much easier to hit down on the ball and hit the ball first rather than the opposite, which would be letting the wrist go, and then the club head will pass my hands and I'll be in a lot of trouble. I won't be able to hit a good shot from this position. So we try to keep the handle of the club, the grip, in front of the club head, and that's why we set up in that position, because the whole stroke we'll try to keep that same angle throughout the swing, okay?
Now, are you going to try to get that ball up onto the green to roll, or are you going to hit it on the edge?
I'm not going to worry about it too much. Obviously, when I hit this shot, it'll probably fly over the fringe and land on the green. But even if it comes up short, I know it's going to pitch forward and still be okay. So I won't worry about that too much. You know, through practice, you develop feel, all right? And when you have feel, there you're able to just look at the target and know how far you have to swing back. A lot of people say, oh, I've got to swing to 9 o'clock. Well, if we try to do that, that really overcomplicates the matter, especially for the higher handicap player, all right? So I wouldn't necessarily recommend that. I want you to just practice the right technique, and through practice, you'll start developing feel, and then through feel, you'll develop having the correct distance, okay? Because most people just get up there and hit this too hard, too short. It's because they haven't practiced enough, you know?
So really a controlled motion, too,
Absolutely.
as you're doing it.
Absolutely. You know, I try to treat it almost like a putting stroke motion, where there's not a lot of body, all right? Keep our head and everything really still, and just try to use shoulders to brush the grass, okay?
Do you have an aiming point that you look at on the green in terms of distance that you're hitting to, or do you look at the hole?
I look at the hole and work on that feel. A lot of guys will teach this a lot of different ways, all right? And you'll see guys that say, okay, pick a point where you're gonna land it, all right? Well, I can do that and still hit a pretty good shot, but to me, that's, again, we're overcomplicating the matter. Let's simplify it even more. Don't even pick a spot you're gonna land it. Just try to aim the club head towards the hole and make sure you get that right, and then make the proper swing, and it should, you know, regardless of where it lands, hopefully you've got the right feel and you'll be able to hit it up there close.
All right, well, let's have you pop one up there by the hole.
Back in my stance. The other thing I didn't mention, I usually put, again, about 60% of my weight on my left leg. This will keep us hitting downward into the ball, okay? So we want to make sure we do that. Get a little bit of weight forward, hands are forward, and then I get closer to it, all right? And I always teach this, be uncomfortably close to the golf ball. The closer you get, the easier it is to make that simple motion. So we get a little closer than we normally would for a normal shot. Weights forward, hands are forward. Whoop. The club was catching the snag there. Let me reset that up. So we don't want to do that. Okay. So then we can just roll it up there.
I think that's why he's the golf professional right there.
Now that ball carried just onto the edge of the green, but it never got more than probably a foot off the ground. So very simple stroke. I didn't make a big shot, but you see we hit it to within a foot, so we're extremely happy with that.
Exactly right, and extremely happy with our lesson out here today from the Golf Club of Coldwater because it's a beautiful day. Brian Earls is our PGA professional. We've got Mr. David Spalding with us from Quincy High School, and when we come back, David and I will give it a shot and get a little instruction from Brian. Stay with us. You're watching Hitting the Greens. Back here at the Golf Club of Coldwater's on Hitting the Greens, Tim Hart with David Spalding, principal at Quincy High School, and Brian Earls, our PGA professional. And Brian, we just saw you do the pitch and run. Very nicely done, right up by the hole. And now David and I are going to give it a little shot. And, you know, coming up on later in the show, we're going to have our little contest here. So we got to have our tips and techniques now, all right?
Absolutely.
All right, Dave, go ahead and get yourself all set up.
Ball's aligned with my back foot.
Absolutely. Play the ball back on your right foot. Put a little bit of weight forward.
A little forward and the club.
The handle's forward off your left thigh there. You're looking like you're in pretty good shape.
Look at that. He could be a PGA professional.
You really could.
Got a little more distance than you did.
Yeah, cut a little thinner than I did. Maybe didn't get down to the bottom of the ball, maybe halfway up it. But overall, pretty good motion. You know, if anything, I'd do another shot just trying to sweep the turf a little bit more.
Dave, what club are you using?
This is an 8-iron.
All right.
I chose that because that's what he chose.
And it seemed to work pretty
Hang
good.
on. That's a guy who learns well. Sir, you ought to be in the school system.
I might learn well from others and expect others to learn well from me.
That's great.
Sweet.
Not bad. A little bit high on the ball again. You can see
I didn't learn well.
as far as you're as consistent as they get. But I would just a little bit more of a downward motion will help you hit the bottom of the ball. Just like that.
All right, well, let's try from the other side here.
Yep, back off your left foot there, Tim. Got your good angle going.
A little closer.
Mm-hmm. Now just watch where you got the club aimed. Good. Real nice.
Ready.
Hold on.
It is rolling. I'd say make the same stroke, just a little smaller. Very good. Yeah, and you can see the speed on these greens makes it really take off when it lands. It's a nice firm hit, but both of those, I mean, you're all within 10 feet of the hole. That's pretty good from here. Obviously, probably average on PGA Tours, probably about 3 feet from right here, but we're not on the PGA Tour, right? We're here at the Golf Club of Coldwater with a pair of, what would you say your handicap is, Tim?
At least about a 25
yeah,
or 6.
sure. Keeps going up, doesn't it?
7, 27 or 8. I don't have an established one yet. I got to get out and play. I will tell
If
you
you're
that.
at 20 handicap and you hit a chip like this to within 8 feet, you're doing very good for yourself.
He didn't give you his. He's way down there. He's like a golf professional.
Well, I would have thought he'd probably be, what, around 8 or?
Around an 8.
Yeah, okay.
That's
So
accurate.
absolutely. So you can tell when somebody gets up in there, you know what he's doing a little bit more. So he's done it before, all right? So
All
he's
right.
done it more often than you have, I should
Yeah,
say.
well, that's, you know, he gets 3 months. Don't you get 3 months off? Oh, no, I guess administrators don't. I forgot about that. Okay. All right, we are at the Golf Club of Coldwater with our PGA professional, Brian Earls, and our guest here, Mr. David Spalding. When we come back, we've got our rules of the game with Nancy Chapman, and then our Hitting the Greens Golf Challenge. Stay with us. You are watching Hitting the Greens. I've got Brian Earls with me, PGA professional with the Foundation Golf Center and the Golf Club of Coldwater. And Brian, let's talk a little bit about the Junior Tour. There's a lot of young kids getting involved in golf, and it continues to grow and blossom. You've got some competitive, programs going on. Tell me about them.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that Coldwater is home of the Adams and Meyer Junior Tours, which is one of the largest junior tours in the country. It's a statewide tour here in Michigan with over 1,000 members on it, and there's kids. Those tournaments are for kids ages 7 all the way up to age 19. So we have a great number of events through that. Also, the Golf Club of Coldwater here has a wonderful junior league. That's a Monday morning league that starts in the summertime that kids are able to play on and compete against other kids of the same ability and the same age level. We'll offer a junior camp at the Foundation Golf Center for kids ages 7 to 15. That's on Friday morning starting June 22nd. So that's another wonderful opportunity. That's just Friday mornings, but it's a wonderful opportunity to learn the basics and the fundamentals. And then also with the Foundation Golf Center, we're going to do a snag clinic this year. This is for kids ages 5 to 6 years old, and it's going to be the last week of June over at the Foundation Golf Center. We'll have a 3-day camp there for the kids, and it's really more implementing the fun part of golf. You know, a lot of tennis balls and bigger clubs and Velcro rather than small balls, steel heads, and small holes, all right? Everything's going to be made easier there. So we have tons of opportunities, and we really want the kids to know that and come to us and let us be the leaders for junior golf in the area.
And if I want more information, where can I get it?
You better find that at either www.golfclubofcoldwater.com or foundationgolfcenter.com.
All right, Brian, thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Tim.
Brian Earls, PGA professional at the Foundation Golf Center and the Golf Club of Coldwater. Well, we have an issue, don't we, Nancy?
We do, Tim. You should not have overshot 18 green.
Welcome to Rules of the Game. Nancy Chapman is our golf pro from the Foundation Golf Center. And Nancy, we overshot 18, ended up on the putting green. What's the rule?
The ruling on this is you would treat it similar to like a cart path. So we don't want to hit off of a putting green surface. The superintendent, Carrie, would not be too happy about that. So we're going to find our nearest point of relief, no closer to the hole, and then you get 1 club length from that without a penalty stroke.
All right, so first thing first, mark the ball.
So we always want to make sure you mark the golf ball from where the ball lies. So now the key here is finding what our nearest point of relief is going to be.
Now, here's a question for you. Can I go sideways or backwards, or does it make a difference as long as I'm not going forward?
It does make a difference. You have to go nearest point of relief, okay? So, this is pretty close. I would say that heading off to the side of the green is your nearest point.
All right.
So we're gonna just not going closer to the hole, keep that mark
in line.
In line.
I've got it.
And walk out. So you can hit from here. So what you're gonna do is, again, we find our nearest point of relief, and that's using the club that you're gonna hit from here.
Okay.
Okay. So you're gonna take your stance with the club that you're gonna hit. So I'll hold this, where you have relief from the putting surface. So go ahead and take your stance like you're gonna hit the golf ball. Yes. So then from here, this point, we get 1 club length away. Okay.
Use the longest club in your bag.
Absolutely. Use the longest club. And then from this point, we are going to get to take a drop. So we put the tee in the ground, pick your club up, and then drop. And then you're gonna be in play now.
Okay.
No penalty.
No penalty stroke, and that's our rule. Any variations on this rule whatsoever?
No variations. You just have to find your nearest point of relief.
All right, that's your rule of the game. Nancy Chapman, our golf pro from the Foundation Golf Center. I'm Tim Hart for Hitting the Greens. Well, it's time now for our Hitting the Greens Golf Challenge, and David and I will square off and try to make sure that we do the proper techniques that Brian has taught us. And Brian, what's our challenge today?
Well, you're each going to have 3 shots. Closest to the hole will win the contest.
Very simple
One ball
today.
is all you need.
Very simple today,
Just
isn't it?
need one good shot.
All right. And I always ask the guests if you'd like to go first. Well, go ahead.
All right.
Now you know the rule is we can talk throughout the whole shot here. You just can't touch, you can't move the ball, you can't do any of that type of stuff, but you can talk.
Are we alternating shots?
We'll alternate shots, yeah. That way we can see who's who. Ladies and gentlemen, Dave Spalding, Quincy graduate. He went through the entire Quincy school system. Then he had to come back. He loved it so much, and the building that he went to school is still there. Dave, ready? Don't. Look at that. Looks good. He's got a little bit of a roll, got a little speed going.
Your turn.
All right. It's easier when you just practice them. Oh, that's too hard.
That might be off the green, Tim.
That's too hard. That's a little firm.
A little bit.
Little firm.
I'm going to alternate my club here and move to a 9-iron. See how that works for me.
Oh, he's going to try to shorten it up. He's got a little too much club, folks. The pride of Quincy.
That's Chuck Cook.
Well, hang on. You're right. Shh. Dave, it's your second shot. Oh, look at that.
A little too much.
That's a lot of club. Yeah, you did.
I bladed it.
Then I thought it was going to hold up for you.
I did too.
You guys didn't turn this into a par 3 contest. just hit it on the green.
Good luck, Tim.
Thank you very much.
Don't kick it.
There he goes.
Left it to the right.
There's a little finesse. That's a good shot. There's
Come
that
around.
6-footer we were talking about.
Oh, we got a little pressure going on now. I think you can come inside. He's changed. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the 3rd shot, the 3rd club. This is a guy who has indecision going on in his head. And I tell you right now,
I'm back to my original club.
back to his original club, still the same Dave Spalding. Huh? My son's graduating. Oh, I still got one left. I can't get 2.
No, don't say too much.
I got one left.
Hand that diploma to me.
We're going to have Dave back out after graduation, folks. Shh, here he comes.
I take lunch.
Let's see what he can do. Lunch in the cafeteria. Dave Spalding. Oh, I think he put it right next to the hole if he didn't put it in. Keep going, baby. Keep going, baby. Oh, I don't know.
I'll tell you, the greens out here at Golf Club of Coldwater are in good shape.
Yes, they are.
Just run and run and run like they're supposed to. Ooh, look at this.
yeah.
Look at this. This is
They're running and running and get up there. Holy cow. Holy
2-0
cow. And he
today.
came out and what did we do? Talking just a shade of smack. Wasn't he not?
Pretty common.
Huh?
Pretty common.
There's a lot of
so far.
common smack being talked about me in this out here. But you know what? I don't care.
Yeah. At least you're here this time to hear it.
Most times it's just people walking around. I tell you right now. Oh, well, we had a great time today and a great lesson here, Brian. We do appreciate that. Brian Earls, our PGA professional from the Foundation Golf Center and the Golf Club of Coldwater. And if you guys need a lesson, give Brian a call. And they also have some great youth leagues going on and youth instruction coming out here. And Mr. Dave Spalding, thank you very much for being out here.
Thank you, sir.
You know when we bring the crowd together, you'll have your invitation.
I'll be there.
All right, Dave Spalding, the principal at Quincy High School, and I'm Tim Hart. Thanks for watching this week's edition of Hitting the Greens. Dave, what club are you using?
This is an 8-iron.
All right.
I chose that because that's what he chose.
That's
And it seemed to work pretty
Hang
good.
on, that's a guy who learns well. Sir, you ought to be in the school system.
Don't kick it.
There he goes.
Left it to the
There's a little finesse. That's a good shot. There's
Come
that
around.
6-footer we were talking about.
Oh, we got a little pressure going on now.